Hi, I'm Marjorie. I'm a member of the Appalachian Women's Museum Board. I became a member in 2014. And I got interested in starting out and volunteering with the museum around 2013 when I first came to Silva through Emma Wurtenberger. And one day she said, let's start doing archiving. And the funny story is we thought that she was going to have someone here that knew about archiving, and I had researched it thoroughly, and we were waiting around for that expert to come from Western Carolina University, and lo and behold, that expert was me. So we've been having a lot of fun with this. It was important for us to begin labeling and archiving and identifying all of the collection that was left here in the museum. The majority of our items are left from the Monteith's family, and we do have and have been continuing to receive donations from the community. Like the Bryson family left a very large donation for us. This is a form that we now use, and it helps us to identify, to number, to find out where it came from, approximately what it is, and try to describe what year it came from, what it was used for. We take some of the items and get rather detailed. In this particular one, we have one that's cuff sleeves, buttons, top stitch color, was it satin, was it cotton, was it calico, what type of fabric was it used, and what era. We have items here of clothing and textiles that range from the 1910s up through 1980, which is very exciting. Through community volunteers, we've had a number of people come and help us to prepare our archive items by labeling. Our textiles, for instance, are labeled on the left-hand side under the hem, and they provide a numbering sequence that identifies them as a textile. Some of our other numbering schemes, some of the other identifying markings would be furniture, objects, tools, kitchen items. So we'd have a way of identifying the type of archive that we have. Items that are like a hat or another type of object like a pot and pan are labeled with an acetate label that is glued on to the item and in a special manner of archiving. Now let's take a look at some of our unique items in our collection. This is an exquisite evening gown that was a long floor length. It's been labeled properly. It is a crepe fabric. It has got this beautiful jet black beading along the front and the bodice, and on the arms it's very unique, which starts to give us an idea of the time frame. And I would have to say that this is probably 1920s possibly, could even be 30s, but I think it's earlier. And this is got a gathered edging on the shoulder with a unique cuff. And the exciting thing is the back. It's got a wonderful detail with beautiful little buttons, covered buttons in crepe, and a little bow that hangs down the back. Very unique. And of course, on her way to her travels, she would have put on her mink stole. And this is one of their stoles. The other unique piece we have over here is this gorgeous winter coat with the fur cuffs and collar and the unique button, large button, and tied where it clips together. It has pockets with emblems embroidered on, and the piece is lined with silk, and it was definitely a handmade item, and we're very excited we hope to show you a picture of the Monteith sisters wearing this. What I'm kind of excited about in some of these outfits that we've come across, it's very unique to find the work dresses. This was a big thing in the Appalachian women's era. They wore work dresses every day. They didn't wear their pants and t-shirts and that sort of thing like you would see in today's women. They wore their dresses, their stockings, their shoes. And when they dressed up, they also had their gloves and their hats. But they would mostly work up in dress outfits. This one is especially unique because we believe it's from the Depression era of work clothes. We have seen work clothes ranging from about the 1900s up through 1980s. And that's what makes this collection kind of fascinating. And a lot of are homemade, but they're also jump into things like Sears and Roebuck or Montgomery Ward and that era of fashion. The ladies, both of them, they didn't just sit on their little mountain and hide out. They were very serious correspondents with friends that they had met in college, in school, in elementary school, and in college. And they also kept up with the fashions. They got fashion magazines from New York and all around the country. As I mentioned a few moments ago, the women did a lot of their own patterns. They made their own clothes, and we have been able to, through some of the archives, find particular items that match up with the actual patterns that they had. The other unique thing that is very interesting is Edna especially kept up correspondence with her friends, and they shared patterns. And this is one that we found. We actually have the makings of an entire quilt, about 12 of these little patterns, this particular Wheeler design, and they shared these items. The other thing they did was keep in correspondence with different companies, and they would find different fabric pieces, yarn, and unique other patterns that they got from afar. So why is this important? It's important to share with our children growing up what life was like in the past. It's important that we document what these women did and how they survived throughout the Depression era, throughout the 20s, throughout the 30s and the 40s, World War II. What makes them unique and what makes them similar to other parts of the United States. I'm from Michigan, and I grew up with the family and the historical knowledge of the lumberjacks and the lumber trade. And there is also the lumberjacks and the lumber trade was here in North Carolina. And it was a very big emphasis, and women were very involved in caring for their families throughout the era. We are getting ready to prepare a volunteer day. We are labeling several items and preparing labels so that people can come. We hope to be able to put our people 6 feet apart and follow our isolation, but have volunteers come and sew the labels on our textiles. So I hope you'll be watching the Silva Herald and our Facebook so that we can get more volunteers to come and have a really fun day. Thank you for watching us today. We hope that you have found an interest in our collection management process. And here at Appalachian Women's Museum, we hope you will want to find out more information about our volunteering processes and exciting activities that we'll be having. Please visit our website at www.appwomen.org, or you can email us at friends@appwomen.org. Stay safe, and we will see you soon.